The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Boyd's ATA Black Belt Academy in Marrero, Louisiana. Barreto Home Solutions. Bayou Audio and Video. Hot Works on the North Shore. JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington. Lil Dizzy's Cafe. Kuman of Gretna. HBP Construction and Consulting. Moe's Pizza. Bucks Snow Whiz. CC's Children Blocks. The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana. Leo Auto Glass. The Juber Family in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Dat Kitchen Restaurant in Chalmette, Louisiana. CoSource Financial Group.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. And as you can see right now, someone's Temu internet is in full effect. We'll see when George Peppers get on. So, there you go. See, told you. What up, VK Jones? What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, man? Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash Out Show, all social media platforms. We are on all social medias. And also tune into the Hash Out Show Game of the Week on JB the Sports Guy on your YouTube. I was hoping I got on time, which I did. Like you said, I guess somebody's internet.
No, he was in the lobby, then
he popped out.
It went out, and came back in, and went out. And, that's why I said his Temu internet is in full effect. But I'm looking at him right now, and let me bring him on in, everybody. George Peppers.
Hello.
What's up? I had to make
what up, Peppers, man?
What's up, fellas?
Grand entrance, man. Look like you been running from people, man. Like you been on a run or something. What's going on, bro? You all right?
Oh, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm all right. Just another week of hashing out show duties. Show today and tomorrow. Games Thursday and Friday. So another full week of football in front of us. And had 2 last week. What's going on? Your buddy Troy. There he is. Jason, everybody else, and thank y'all for tuning in. And yeah, had a couple games for you last week. We're ready for you tonight and tomorrow. And just checking some things, fantasy wise, because I looked at my fantasy team and I see BYE next to about 6 players, so got to make some moves. Not a good thing.
Lost.
Bobby,
you lost. It's a loss.
Oh no, come on. This coming week.
Yeah, it's a loss.
It's a loss. In a 12-team league, yeah, the scrap heap is empty, and the available guys are so all right. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. What's good, Austin Tyler? What's happening? Thank you all for tuning in, everybody. So we're gonna talk about some homecomings being spoiled. We're gonna talk about our top 5. We might get into the power rankings, and now we do the power rankings tomorrow. Talk about Jimmy Zachary, and then at 8:00, the head coach of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, the one and only coach Brett Beard, and I'm a big fan of Brett Beard, man. Big fan of Brett Beard and his coaching style. I really am. watching Denham Springs TV a couple years ago and seeing how he coaches, man, I became a fan. So I'm happy to have him on. But let's get right into it. Like I said, we had some homecomings that were spoiled for some teams. And when you have a homecoming and you're a good team, you're are expected to win your homecoming. And usually you'll schedule a team that's not so good and you can get the win. That's usually how it is for homecoming, unless you're in a tough district like, the Catholic League. But I want to start off. What's up, everybody? I want to start off in the Baton Rouge area first, where I think the biggest upset in the state happened on Friday night or Thursday, whatever night they played on. And that was Liberty defeating Zachary 52-31. Liberty, pretty much every play that they scored on was like a big explosive play, majority of it. And they just had Zachary's number. Unbelievable big win for Liberty, VK.
Huge victory for Liberty and Jimmy Zachary's squad. And I know there was a lot going on behind the scenes with that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Like I said, yeah.
We'll get to that later. But regardless of the fact, what a great motivation for that Zachary team to play for their coach, play for their school, and having enough pride to get the job done against Zachary. And I mean that is huge for them. We knew Liberty was gonna make some moves. We didn't know how soon, but they really, really stepped up and got the job done. And what a win for Liberty, man. I mean, a huge win for them. And I think a lot of confidence going forward. And Liberty, they still, right there in the thick of things for a chance at possible postseason and stuff like that. They're really, really digging in. And they're pretty young and they have size. They're 4-3, 1-1 in their district. So they're a team that's still not out of things, but they're back in the district race with that win. That's a huge, huge win for that squad. And for them going forward, it gives them a lot of confidence. And, for them to get it done on the road like that, wow, that says a lot. And they're going to have to step it up again this Friday against Central. So the train don't stop. They got to really, really work this Friday to try to knock off the defending state champions. And if they do, wow, this district is really going to really come down to the wire now.
Peppers, your thoughts about Liberty getting that win over Zachary?
One of the more eye-popping results on the ledger from last Friday night was indeed that one, 52-31. Pretty dominant fashion, too. But like you said, a lot of those plays were bombs away, Madden-esque kind of plays, games that, plays that you draw up on the video, right? 76-yard touchdown, it's just exampling, just spitting. But Zachary, that's a pretty disconcerting effort. Homecoming, never wanted to take a Jimmy Zachary team for granted. I don't know if that's the case, but that was a pretty resounding whooping they took in their home field. And it's not easy to go get one at the Z, but they did. And they were very convincing in that matter. And like he said, that district race can really be turned on his ear if Liberty could follow it up with a win in Central, who also took a drubbing Friday night against Catholic. So we shall see.
Definitely, we shall see. Like you said, George, I don't know if Zachary overlooked Liberty or not, but Liberty, like VK said, they were motivated to play because they didn't have Coach Zachary, and I still won't get to that later, not right now. But we talked about it before the season.
The clown has entered the circus, by the way.
Man, don't call Charles a clown, man. He be clowning you. He be clowning you.
History, man. Cut it out, bro.
Oh, man, don't get mad because Riverdale beat John Erie, man, 2 years in a row. Don't get mad now, man. Don't get mad. But look, we talked about it early in the season about how long will it take for Coach Zachary and these kids to get rolling. Did we say maybe 2 years? We don't know, but here they are, 4-3. And then number 27 in Division I Select, and just trying to get in. If they make the playoff this year, I think that's a huge win for Liberty Patriots on VK Jones? VK, did you mute yourself?
Oh, my bad. I did. I was checking something out. Yeah, Liberty. Yeah, we huge for Liberty. You know what I'm saying? I had a feeling that Liberty was going to be a pretty competitive team. You know what I'm saying? Especially, with them getting the win against Southern Lab on the road. That showed a lot. It showed really a lot that they can compete and they starting to learn how to win. And every game they've been in except for one game, and to actually two games. No, one game they've been out of. Everything else they've been close. So for them to be competitive, you just knew eventually that the hard work was going to start paying off. And for them to win on the road like that, I'm like this. Central needs to serve notice and get prepared because Liberty is coming to play and they host Central.
Well, I'm pretty sure Coach Semino saw what happened and he's telling his team this won't be easy. So get your minds right. George Peppers, your thoughts on if the Liberty Patriots makes the playoffs? How big is that for that school and that
I
program?
mean, it's a gargantuan step for them to get in to make the show. And look, what happens after that happens. If they can pull an upset or something like that, it is what it is, but some teams have incremental. For Liberty this year was to get back to relevance, get in contention for the playoffs, and earn a spot. Right now, 27th, that's on the inside of the cut line, correct? In Division One?
That's on the outside for select. For select
Up,
is on the outside. They got to get
up
in the
select.
top
So
24 for select.
yeah, they're gonna be 9 to 24. Yeah, okay, 24 is the cut. Okay, but I mean, if they beat Central this week and they're home, if they can score that one, that definitely should boost them up again. And what Zachary does going forward, the rest of the way, if Zachary wins out per se, that's going to help them out too. Other teams on that schedule that they've already played, they're going to have to do well as well. But if they make the playoffs, what happens after that happens. And it's a very big step for them, program wise, going forward into 26.
Definitely. All right. We talked about homecomings that were spoiled, and let's go to St. Aug versus Rummel. It was a matchup that was talked about a lot this past weekend. A lot of St. Aug fans were upset that Rummel scheduled them for homecoming. And I hold on now, slow it down, St. Aug fans. Y'all rise to being great and good again just started happening. So let's pump the brakes on why they scheduled us for homecoming. What's wrong with them? No, nothing wrong with them. It's just how it happened. All right. It may not happen next year. I don't know. But look, well, it won't happen next year. It ain't on the home team. But in 2 years, it may not happen. But categorically, it's a different story. But St. Aug was down 3-0, and St. Aug scored 26 unanswered points to win 26-3. St. Aug looked good on defense. They looked good offensively. For Sean Coulon passing the ball, being very accurate, and the running game with Khalil Lewis and even Cole Davis.
Kohan.
Kohan, thank you, sir. Kohan Davis. I heard somebody say Cole on the sideline. I thought it was Kohan, but then I thought I was wrong. But guess I'm not. Kohan Davis, the freshman coming in, and that's a big freshman. I ain't gonna lie, running back. He's got good size for a freshman. St. Aug looked very good Saturday night. VK.
They sure did. They really sure did Saturday night. Um, I was very impressed. It was more, and there was a reason. When we go to the top five, you'll see where I got St. Aug at, and I had them there for a reason. I had to do some thinking on it. The way St. Aug won this ball game, it was a true character win. They had to overcome a lot of things early in the ball game. Romo had some good drives. They just didn't finish it. But for St. Aug, they executed, but they had to overcome a lot of things with adversity, not just with Rommel, but
What's up, Coach Fig?
also they had to deal with a lot of some questionable calls, real questionable calls in this game, more than one in this game. And for St. Aug for the players not to overreact or anything, and for them to just even the players was calming each other down, the coaches was calming each other down, for them to have a cool head and for them to overcome all the challenges to win the ball game. That's a true character win to the Purple Knights. That especially on the road at homecoming, holding the Rumble team to 3 points and the best defensive output of the season for the Purple Knights. That says a lot to me. This team is definitely on the rise. And St. Aug fans, they can always do that. They always overreact. That just I'm being real. I remember when they finally be in the car in 2020. Here come the comments, and I'm like, humble yourself. We've never beaten them before. Humble yourself. Be grateful for the moment. Be grateful for the moment when St. Aug won the state championship against Scotlandville in 20 and what it was in 2021. Humble yourself. We ain't beat that team in 11 years. Chill. Be happy that we got it done finally. So, hey, that's how all fans, they always overreact instead of just humbling themselves and being grateful.
I think you kind of overreacted going on to that topic. But anyway, go ahead,
No,
George
no, no.
Pepper.
I'm just being truthful. I'm an alumnus.
Well,
I'm being a realist right now.
It's a
That's all
joke,
it is.
man.
I know
Joke.
it's a joke.
Go
okay,
ahead, Peppers.
okay. You know what? And much respect to Saint Augustine, much respect. But you know what their fan base act? The Cowboys. Every time
Whoa,
they do something
whoa,
good,
whoa, 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 whoa,
wait,
whoa, whoa,
oh
whoa, whoa,
God,
whoa, whoa, whoa! No, no,
y'all
no,
are
no, no,
messing
no,
up
no,
now.
no, no, no! We ain't
What?
doing
No,
that.
no,
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 We're not
George.
doing that,
No,
George.
George.
no.
No,
No, George.
The
no,
fans that talk, no,
George.
stop it. Let me
No,
go.
George.
No,
George.
it's
Stop.
the
Stop,
fourth
George.
Stop,
one.
stop,
Stop,
George.
George.
Stop,
Stop. Stop,
stop.
George.
We're
Stop.
not doing
Stop.
that.
No,
We're not doing
George.
that, George.
No,
We're not
George.
doing that.
No. Hold on,
Stop.
We're
George.
doing that.
Hold on, George. Hold on. No,
No,
George. No. We're not
no.
gonna say they
No,
Cowboys fans. No,
Some of
no,
their
no,
no.
fans,
No. Don't
the
say
no,
way
something.
they
No,
talk,
George. Don't
no,
say something.
no,
listen, let
no,
me,
No,
no.
No,
see,
no,
this is
no,
how
No,
fast
George.
no,
y'all are.
George.
You don't let
Stop.
nobody talk. Okay, I hear you.
Oh, we let you talk,
Anyway,
but
Let me
you come
talk.
out and say they Cowboys
Let,
fans. Wait a
let,
minute.
I
No,
did not
George.
say that.
No.
Let me, okay, I said that,
What
but let me
you
put it in
always say
context.
that?
Let me put
Rephrase
it in
yourself.
context.
Rephrase
Let me
yourself.
put it in context.
Okay.
Some of their fan bases, they run their mouth on social media. They have the mannerisms of that. I didn't say all of them. Some of them, when they pop off at the mouth and they do something good, they act like that. I didn't say the whole fan base. There are some that spew their mouth on social media. VK made a point about when they knocked off in the car finally, they act like they were here and there. Hold up. Accomplishments are accomplishments. Appreciate and embrace them. Here's what I think of what happened to St. Aug Saturday night. Some of y'all are humble. They absolutely are. But here's what happened
They're
Saturday night.
loyal. They're loyal.
They're
Lord.
fiercely
They're a loyal
loyal.
fan
They
base.
are fiercely loyal. That I know. But here's what happened Saturday in a nutshell. It wasn't the prettiest offensive performance, but it didn't have to be. They finally showed you a well-rounded defensive effort. It
Uh-oh.
was the complete. It was a complete defensive effort by them. And what that tells me going forward, St. Aug, y'all better pay attention because y'all mess around and say, well, they got beat by 21 in the car. Let them catch them again. That's all I'm saying. Let them catch them again. St. Augustine is an absolute contender. And if anybody wants to suggest, well, they're not going to beat Carr, or they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that, pump the brakes. They still have John Curtis to deal with at the end of the. They still got to deal with John Curtis. I think that's week 10
10. Yeah.
to close it out. And I forgot who they have in advance of that game. Warren Eaton. No, they already played Easton. We did
Yeah,
that
Brother
game.
Martin. Brother
Brother
Martin,
Martin.
Holy Cross, and then Curtis.
Two capable teams, but still games that all should be favored. The Curtis game in week 10, you're going to find out where they can be seed wise. Obviously it depends on seeding, and if we want to see Aug and Carr rematch potentially, Aug's got to be away from the one bracket. They got to be on the two bracket. Where the two seed is lying. That's where we want them to be. We would like them because look, as much media conglomerates as we are, but there's the fan in us that wants to see a rematch, and it can happen. But St. Aug defensively was mature. Offensively, again, they didn't explode like they have all year. 26 points seems pedestrian next to what they've been able to put. They've averaged close to 46 points a game. So they didn't have to do all that this week. And Okay, you could use motivation that Rommel made them their homecoming opponent. I get it. Some coaches like to do it, and I don't blame them at all. All felt like, wait a minute, why y'all making us homecoming? Watch this. And sure enough, 26-3, and that's what happened. That's what happened. So I believe Coach Travis probably told his players and said, look, here's the other thing, Rommel, St. Aug, and VK, tell me I'm wrong. How much trouble have you had with Rommel in the recent past? How many years has Aug struggled with Rumble? A lot. When when Jay Roth was there, they had their issues with Rumble. But Saturday felt like a turning point. It felt like a turning point when the matter of how they won that game. And what they announced themselves as, JB, is I think they didn't have to, but they did. And you can't help but think that's an absolute state championship winner, maybe not just contender. They can win it. They absolutely can win it.
Oh, they got a great shot. They got a great shot, and the best option to be on the opposite side of the bracket of Ed in the car. And I'm sure if they happen to meet up again, Coach Valdez and their staff's gonna draw up something to not make the same mistakes they made the first time. But look, VK said it, man. Those calls, VK said questionable, and man, they were just bad. I'm sorry, it was just bad. It's the
I was just being
Man,
the professional.
I know you were, but
You
I know, but man,
you can tell it.
I'm gonna tell it the punt that the Romo player touched, and then they said it was kick catch interference. No, there was an interception by St. Aug, and they got the ball at the 20-yard line, and then all of a sudden there was a roughing the passer that we don't even know where it came from. That was one. There was a big hit from St. Aug that caused a fumble, and then the ref said it was an incomplete pass. Like, wait a minute, the dude took a whole 3-4 steps, got hit, and fumbled the ball. And then the other interception, they were mad about that, but I went back in my film, and yes, that was a penalty on St. Augustine. It was. The guy didn't have to do what he did. He was so far away from the play anyway. So, but other than that, other stuff and what some of the holding calls and everything, yeah, it was some bad calls. And man, I'm sitting there like, come on, man. Let's have a clean game, fair, please. And that's what VK means.
An important district class officiated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what VK means when he said they had to overcome a lot that game, and they did.
And you look at it more than anything.
Oh, you got it, Miss Tasha. And
Miss, Miss Tasha, we got you. And plain and simple, Miss Tasha is a former. I said what I said because I'm just an alumnus. I'm a former football player, member of that football team from 1994 to 97. And I get what you're saying, but there were many days, Miss Tasha, that we came into Joe Yenny, and it was not easy because you had to deal with all kind of challenges. Trust me. The respect I do give the Rummel, because back in the 90s, we used to run them until Jay Roth got there, and he changed the game. Jay Roth was basically, before the streak ended, Jay Roth totally was in his career against St. Augustine, combined as a player, as a coach. If I get this right, hopefully I get it right. 18-4 combined as coach and a player. He was 2-0 against the Purple Knights as a player in the 70s. The two back-to-back state championships, 78, 79, one loss apiece. To who? Rummel and Jay Roth as the quarterback.
Let me see.
I tell some people with the Caddy League, I say that Hank Tierney is the Empire, is the Jedi mind trick. Jay Roth was basically the Sith Lord. The Sith Lord. That's who Jay Roth was in the Caddy League. Just
all right. So look, we know this. Rummel is not a bad team. We know that. We know Rummel is a good team. And St. Aug, to me, man, is still that second best team as of right now. Well, third best right now, because I do have Curtis ahead of him. I got Curtis ahead of him in the rankings for right now, but I mean, that could all change. that could all can change. So I got to go with my rankings, but we'll see in due time
Mm-hmm.
when that game is played week 10. But yeah, St. Aug, man, St. Aug, they look good, man. They look good, man, and man, they're gonna be scary. That's a team that nobody gonna want on their side of the bracket as well. The other homecoming game that I know that was spoiled was Warren Easton, and Warren Easton was in the game with Holy Cross for 3 quarters. And we talked about it, and I said this would be a close game. And I said that Warren Easton will win this game. Well, it's hard to win a game when you turn the ball over in the fourth quarter. It is hard to win a game when you are turning the ball over in the fourth quarter. I went back and watched the clips on YouTube, and man, I seen it like, wow. It's hard to win like that, VK, when you're turning the ball over in the
How,
fourth quarter when it's a tied ball game, 21-21.
how many turnovers?
I think they had a total of 4. I think they had 3 in the fourth quarter.
Jesus.
D boy.
Warren Easton really shot him. Really, Warren Easton really shot themselves in the foot, not just for that game, but all season long. They
D
have
boy, he
had
should have more. He should have more, D boy. He should have more than 2 state championships. He should have a lot more, in my opinion. Go ahead, VK.
yeah. Um, yeah, you have to think that um they shot themselves in the foot all season. I mean, so many opportunities for them to possibly win a lot of these games. And it's just a fact, one mistake too many just cost Warren Easton. It's been every time. And it is not like they're not a bad team.
They're not.
They're very talented. They're a good team. They just have to execute. Regardless of the mistakes, you have to execute. When you don't execute, you turn over the ball, penalties, that kills the game. That costs you. So if Easton is going to get better, they got 3 more. They got what, 3 more weeks in the season? They got to put this together now if they're going to be some kind of a factor going in the postseason. They got to put it together now, as in cut down on the penalties, cut down on the turnovers, and have pure execution. They are too talented to be where they are right now. Now, some of the teams are a bit better than Easton, but at the same time, some of the critical mistakes in the ball games have cost them, and that's the biggest thing with Easton. And it don't get no easier because now you go against a crosstown. Can I say rival? It's hard for me to say rival because this is maybe one of the most one-sided rivalries in the state of Louisiana. So, just being honest, it's just it's reason why some people say it's a rivalry between Carr and Easton because of the fact of how talented these two teams are, and then on top of that, how much that they have overcome so much, especially as the two schools. We knew Carr always been a tradition, but for Easton to really come up the way they came up, it's been unbelievable. So I get the thing, but to me, it's very one-sided. But it's not going to be easy for Easton.
Peppers.
I wonder aloud, and we did Warren Easton twice this year. I think
Yeah.
we've had 2 of their games this year. You never want to say it, but you got to think it. You are who you are through 7 weeks of the season. And this is a team that is immensely talented, but they can't get out of their own way. Not just with the turnovers, VK, you mentioned penalties as well. Remember the 2 games we did with Easton combined, 29 penalties in the 2 games that we did with them. This is a team that shoots themselves in the foot and makes a lot of mistakes, self-inflicted. And discipline, I mean, I don't know what's going on there because the talent pool there is immense. They are very good. But I'm not surprised Holy Cross won. More the manner that they won, that they were able to turn them over in the fourth quarter 3 times. 3 times, you said?
Yes, 3 times.
Okay. That's money time, the fourth quarter. That is money time. That's when you got to go get it. And win or lose. Some games are won, some games are lost in that fourth quarter. And Warren Easton failed to deliver. They laid an egg. And Holy Cross is too talented to make those mistakes against, and they paid for it. But you are who you are. Warren Easton, although immensely talented, can't get out their own way. And it doesn't get any easier. You mentioned that the car comes calling, and Cars demolished everybody this year. What makes you think this is not going to be a game where Carr just decides to make it one sided? I mean, maybe. They've owned Warren Easton. Warren Easton's had better teams than this, got whipped by Carr. What makes this year any different?
Well, I mean, that's why we play the game. This is why the game is played. And you never know. Something could happen come Friday night
True.
at Morris FX Jeff Stadium. You never know. But like I said, that's what hurt Warren Easton the most with the turnovers. And you go back and watch it, you'll see that JB is right. That's what hurt them the most with the turnovers that game. And you got to hold on to the ball. Got to hold on to the ball, especially when you're on your side of the field, not on the other side. So that's what happened. Holy Cross took advantage of those opportunities, capitalized on them, and that's how they got the win 42-28 over Warren Easton. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will unveil, reveal, whatever you want to say, our top 5 right here on the Hash It Out Show. What's up, everybody? Me and VK Jones had to come to Little Dizzy's. Yeah, well, VK, man, wasted no time, and he loved the fried chicken and the dirty rice from Little Dizzy's. Look at what I had. Yes, indeed. Oh, y'all know I love candy yams. Oh, yeah. That fried chicken was one of the best I ever had. And just like how Miss Arkisha Baquette says it, come to Little Dizzy's, where the food is always hot and it comes straight from the pot. Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Pepis.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, with VK Jones and George Pepis. And reading the chat, my class of 2002 classmate Wayne St. Anne is in the building. He's a starting safety at Archbishop Shaw. Freshman football, that was the hardest I've ever been hit by anybody in football.
Wow.
That man hit me in my chest so hard, I don't know how my lip got busted to this day.
Bruh. That's a good man. You still got along with him in there. I know it's your teammate, but y'all still.
It's football. It's football. He did what he's supposed to do.
I know, but for him being that tough and you're a receiver and everything, but at the same time, y'all develop a brotherhood even after that.
Oh yeah,
time, man. That's huge, and that's a good dude, man. I mean, straight up, great football player.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. See, he started calling on here the other night. Yeah, calling me be popping up left and right on here, man. He sure does, bro. Hey, we're definitely, Wayne. We gonna link up, bro. Definitely, brother. Definitely. We gotta come to South Plaquemines in a couple of weeks. So, man, I'll definitely do that, man. We gotta do that. We gotta link up, bro. Without a doubt. All right. What did Cheese say? Y'all better not have dumb top fives. Yeah. You know what he talking about LCA. Lord. That's what he talking about. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get to these top fives, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get it up right quick. Hopefully it's the right one. Yep, there it is. All right. We'll do mine first. My top five. And everybody chat, let us know if you like our top five. If you don't, if you think another team should be in there, go ahead and tell us. We're good with it. Trust me. All right. So here's my top five. And let's get our pictures up right quick. There we go. I got Edna Carr number one, John Curtis number two, Zachary was number three for me last week. They lost. They are out. St. All moves to number three. North DeSoto number four. Ruston number five. Peppers, I see a smirk on your face. What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm not really smirking. I'm actually just gritting right now. Gritting because I'm seeing something else. Look, I look at your top five, and it's pretty standard. I mean, I don't see any egregious, anything crazy or anything out of the loop. Um, and the Car and Curtis clearly the two top teams in the top five. Og, you can make that argument. North DeSoto, you know how high I've been on that team. I feel like this is that team with the character of what they did a few years ago when they got to the Dome, and they have a real shot to do that again. You have Ruston in there, and I won't argue against it. I know they escaped Neville a few nights ago, but that's a rivalry game, and it was a track meet. They won 41-37. So I don't really have any contentions with your top five, JB. I look at it and it's pretty standard. I'm not going to say anything out of the ordinary.
All right, Cheese said great list. Cool deal. Oh, he wasn't talking about LCA. Oh, okay. Well, my bad. I apologize, Cheese. I got your text, Cheese. I'm gonna get with you in a minute after the show with that. I got your text though. Troy Narcisse says I should flip 4 and 5. Okay. 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 I understand it. I think you see that on the next one though, because I think that guy has it flipped 4 and 5, but he also has it flipped somewhere else on his top five. And let's get into it. VK Jones top five, ladies and gentlemen. He has Edna Carr. He has St. Augustine. He has John Curtis third. He has Ruston fourth, and North DeSoto five. So I think a question that me and George both have with VK: why St. Augustine hops over John Curtis?
Very good question. Very good question. John Curtis, got a win, grinded it out again against Brother Martin. That they had a good lead, but Brother Martin came back on them, made it closer than it did, and everything else. And I thought about keeping Curtis at number two, but when I keep thinking of what St. Aug did on Saturday, that character win for them, they had to overcome everything from calls and then some, and winning on the road as well. Holding a team a team that's been in every game this year. And I know they might not be the most impressive team, but for them to hold them to just 3 points and the best defensive output for St. Augustine's defense this season on the road and overcoming everything, I had to give St. Aug the big lead. I had to give it to him because the fact of the matter is, no knocking Curtis. Curtis is really playing good ball, and they're grinding it out. That's old school Curtis. But at the same time, I think the character of St. Aug, what they built, that can help them going forward, especially for the postseason, and especially if their defense play like that. Their defense play like that, St. Aug is going to be hard to beat.
Okay, okay. Alton Tyler, I feel that VK is going to let the fan base down this year because he hasn't done VK normally things yet.
No, it's week 7.
I
Week 8
changed,
now.
man. Change. Yeah, I gotta stay consistent, man. I'm trying to, Austin. I'm trying to win the picks this year. I'm trying to win, and I see what JB and George is doing, and I'm in every week. It ain't like I didn't fall to third maybe twice this season, but I'm trying to get there. So I'm doing some things that's a little more professional for these guys, and to be right there with them.
Okay, Peppers, your thoughts about VK's top five?
You stole my question, JB, but I'm gonna piggyback off of it.
Okay.
I just, to me, Ruston over North DeSoto, I think that's apples and oranges. Look, I can make that argument, but VK, how much weight do you put on North DeSoto's win at West Monroe? More so in the manner in which they accomplished it. Because I think the Griffins, to me, on a level field with Ruston, I think they could beat Ruston. If they could do that to
Ooh.
West Monroe on the road, I think they could take this Ruston team. But how much weight do you put on that? And more so in the manner of how they did it, and why Ruston ahead of them?
I put a lot of weight on Ruston because Ruston is undefeated against the state of Louisiana right now. Their
Right,
one
the
loss is
loss
the
was
state of
against
Texas.
Texas.
Exactly. North
Hmm.
DeSoto has some good wins on their schedule. The West Monroe one was weeks ago. We're talking about what's going on now. And I like what North DeSoto is doing. It was between North DeSoto. It was a lot of teams, but it was between North DeSoto and also the other team that was undefeated. That's Turlin's Cat. So both of them have kind of a similar type of resume.
Resume.
It's a
Okay.
similar type resume.
Hmm.
So I decided to go with North DeSoto. And I think I put Ruston ahead because, to be honest, Ruston does have the tougher district. North DeSoto's district is not strong.
It isn't, but it's not their
Not
fault.
strong. It's not their fault. I'm not blaming nothing on North DeSoto at all. But I think those Ruston wins in that district is going to prove more weight than North DeSoto. And I think it'll be a great game if they battle. But I give Ruston the edge because of the fact of the matter is they're a lot more battle tested than North DeSoto. So I would pick Ruston in a
Fair.
close game. It would be a great ball game, though. Great ball game because of the fact North DeSoto is they're going to bring the heat and they're going to score. They can score against any and anybody. One of the best offenses in the state of Louisiana. Their defense is not that bad, but at the same time, I think how Ruston has been showing how battle tested it is in a tougher district this year because the fact every game has been close, and it still doesn't get easy for Ruston anyway. So, but that's why I put Ruston 4, North Dakota 5.
All right. Let's go to Georgia's list, everybody. His top five teams in the state of Louisiana. There you have it. And the call number one, John Curtis. Two, North DeSoto. Three, St. Augustine. Four, Turlings at number five. And I got a question for George Peppers. So he said I stole this question about VK having St. Aug hop over Curtis. So George,
Hmm.
you had North DeSoto hop over Turlings from last week.
I
And
did.
then you had St. Augustine, who wasn't ranked, also hop over Turlings. So why North DeSoto and St. Augustine gets the hop over Turlings Catholic?
I normally don't do that when it comes to ranking teams. I know it's not a procedure I usually employ, but maybe I'm overselling. I don't know if I'm overselling North DeSoto. And geez, yeah, I got Turlings in this top five. Say something. But anyway, say something. But all jokes aside, look, I'm very high on the Griffiths. I am very high on that team. Luke Delafield is that dude. And I think this team has that makeup of the team that got to the dome a few years ago and was one bad quarter from winning state against Lutcher. Remember, the third quarter changed that game. Um, but this year at West Monroe, who I think is going to give teams problems the rest of the way in that district, to me, in the matter of how they accomplished it, Turlings, let me say this about Turlings. They're undefeated. Raise your hand if you thought they'd be 7-0 with the coaching turnover and the player turnover they had from last year to this year. Raise your hand if you thought they'd be 7-0. No, you can't. I'm rewarding that team for an outstanding season to this point, and they deserve to be in this, at least for this week, to be in this top five. Look, the considerations are plentiful. Ruston, Ash, teams like that. There was a lot of teams in the mix, all jumping them. I'm like this. St. Augustine, they did something they hadn't done in a while against Rumble, and that's really almost goose egg them. They only held them to a field goal. And defensively, it was a great effort. Offensively, they weren't flashy, but it was still a complete kind of a win. and really just a very methodical, grinded out kind of game with what St. Aug did against Rummel. And I think that holds a little bit weight considering the Catholic League clearly is one of the strongest leagues in the state of Louisiana. I think that Northern District with West Monroe, Ruston, Ash, and teams like that is running a close second this year. I think that district is absolutely running a close second. But I think North DeSoto, they are that team. I just that's why I have them where I have them. No disrespect to any of these teams, y'all, in the chat, none whatsoever. I still think it's Carr Curtis 1 and 2. But the 3, 4, and 5 is really a hodgepodge. You could really mix and match, and you can make compelling arguments anyway for how we rank our teams.
VK, you got a question for George Pepper's top 5?
Yes, I do. If North DeSoto and the way it's looking, in the next couple of weeks, out of the next 3 games, looking at the 2 weeks between North DeSoto and Turlings, the next couple of weeks for North DeSoto is very kind of like not too good opponents. Like one of them, you got Woodlawn or Shreveport coming up, and
Right.
also other opponents that's not looking to. Turling's next 2 at home against East Ascension and home for St. Thomas More. If Turlings wins those 2, do they go over North DeSoto in the top 5?
I'd have to look at it very closely, considering the strength of SOS, strength of schedule. Right, you've got to you've got to make that consideration, and I will. Yeah, North DeSoto admittedly doesn't play top class opposition in district, and it's not their fault. It's who they get in front of them. They play the hand you dealt, right? But if let's say North DeSoto, let me piggyback on your question and really accelerate it a little bit. What if North DeSoto struggles against one of these bad teams the next 2 weeks? Then yeah, and Turlings hold serve against. You said it's
East
STM and
Ascension,
who?
East Ascension this week in a 9 district, a huge 9 district, because that is power rankings on the line,
It is.
especially with East Ascension the way they've been winning recently.
But also, they also did lose to Prairieville, a second-year program, first-year varsity. So let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit.
No, we're not gonna pump the brakes because East Ascension they won at St. Amant. That's
They
a
did
huge win, and they still in the
43-42.
district play.
Yes,
So
good bounce back.
you cannot factor that district is tough. So we cannot factor that
Never
out.
said it wasn't.
No, I'm just saying because the fact of the matter is, I see like pump the brakes. No, we're not gonna pump the brake because you have to notice that because we got to pay attention to that. Because if East Ascension would have lost the game, still is a good game, but at the same time, okay, they're coming off 2 losses. This is more of a bigger game for both teams, but especially East Ascension. They got to get themselves a win that will stay within the playoff race. Now, this is a huge game now with East Ascension winning because the fact of the matter is, there's huge power points on the line between both teams. If East Ascension pulls off the win and gives Turlings their first loss, look how much power points East Ascension is going to get, and that's going to help their district. That district is already tough as nails. So this is a huge non-district game. So you can't dismiss that. And then you look at that game going into STM, a team they have not beaten, and I don't know how long.
Been a while.
Exactly. To me, if Turlings gets by those 2 games and they finish 10-0, Division 1, look out. Turlings could be a factor. They could be a factor. Just
I don't
saying.
know. I don't know who wrote that in the comments, VK, but somebody said they would get boat raced in the second round.
Cheese.
I don't know what that was. Cheese.
Cheese. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what their. I haven't looked at the power ratings yet this week. Been busy. Today's my first day off in the week. I haven't seen the PowerPoints, so I don't know where Turlings lies right now in D1 Select.
7th.
7th, so that would hook them up against.
They have a first round bye.
They would get the first round bye, and they would get 10-23 in round 2.
Yep.
And whoever 10-23 is, that's their second round matchup. And if they get boat raced, I'd love to know who that matchup.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. If we going by today, it would be Rummel or Southwood. And that Rummel matchup would be tough for him.
It would. It would. Rummel coming out of a season league, very tough league. Again, they don't do anything impressive, Rummel, but they are fundamentally sound. But they're not. They don't blow the top off of you offensively. They're not a team that could stretch you out. They're more grinded out. That would be an interesting second round game, but
I think it'll be a great second round game. To be
Mhm.
honest,
I don't know
it'll be a
about a
great
boat
second.
race though, BK. I don't see
I,
a boat race in that matchup.
no, I think Turlins is capable of maybe pulling that win off. They're battle tested, and I think it will be a great game, just like Rummel played that game at Lafayette Christian.
Hmm.
They're gonna be ready to play, ready to go. I think that will go down to the wire, regardless of who wins that game, because I think looking at their schedule, Turlins is a really good team, and I think that coach who's taken over that program, I think he's up for coach of the year because what he did is unbelievable. Because nobody thought after the former coach leaving for East Ascension to him to take over and the players buy in immediately and for them to be undefeated. I think he's one of the candidates for coach of the year. This has been an amazing job he's done.
All right, let's answer Anthony Branson's question. He's going to ask it again next week. What do you think Harville odds are of beating Desrahan this year? Do you think this is the year? Are you trying to get me in trouble with my family out there in Booty and Luling? Are you trying to get me in trouble, or are you trying to have them clap for me? It's one of the two options going to happen. I'm going to say this, and supposed to be at that game next Friday. To be honest with you, we'll see what happens. But I'm supposed to be as of right now. We'll see. But I think I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. That fan base for Harville got belief now. Ever since last season, they got belief that they can finally get the job done over Destrehan. It's been a long time. I think after the last 12 years, they only got the one win. That was with Puka when they went to the state championship. I think that fan base has a lot of belief in what Coach Boyne and his staff are doing. So I'm gonna tell you, stay tuned next week when we do pick. I'll let you know next week. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes before Coach Brett Beard. Thank you. All right, thank you, Wayne. I'm gonna check it, brother. Definitely, we go from there. Coach Brett Beard joins us, and I want to talk about Jimmy Zachary right quick. Coach Zachary was suspended for the game against Zachary. He is the head coach of Liberty. He was suspended, and what it is that's being said is it was an in-school suspension. Apparently, a parent of a junior varsity football player for Liberty got fussed at and yelled at from Coach Zachary during the game, and there's your suspension. And that is what being said to us. That's what's being said to us. So we just saying what is being said to us. If that is the case, are we serious? Like, are we really serious? This is why we suspending Coach Zachary. Like, seriously. I'm gonna go back a few years, and I'm not gonna say who the team was, anything. But at the time, whoever was the principal of this school, he went to all the coaches at this school and said, "Hey, don't fuss at the kids. Don't fuss at them. Don't yell at them." They couldn't even be hard on these kids because of this principle. I'm sorry, people. A lot of these football coaches here want to see your kids be successful in life. They want to see them to grow up to be good fathers, good husbands, very successful in the real world, great men in the world. That's what most of them are there for. Most of them. And most of them will answer that question with what I just said. And if Coach Zachary got suspended for being tough on a kid as a football coach, something is wrong here, people. Something is wrong. And if that is why Coach Zachary got suspended, I am in disbelief and total disagreement with Liberty. I am. I'm just gonna come out and say it. We see it, VK. We saw it at the practice field tours we did. We still see it at the games. It's tough, hard-nosed coaching. It is. I ain't got a problem with it. I don't like it if a coach would put his hands on the play. No. But coach yelling and being hard, I ain't got a problem with that at all. I just don't know what's going on with society where we can't be tough on, and me having my own taekwondo school, and I got 37 world championships under my belt. And when I say under my belt, I'm talking about my students who have won. And I was tough on them. I was, because I expect perfection. Now, I know you're not going to be perfect, but it's me wanting you to give everything you got, 100%, win or lose. Give me everything you got. And I was tough on them. And if I wasn't tough on them, I don't think I have 37 world titles under my belt. And I'm just being honest. But I'm shocked. I mean, I disagree with it. If that's the case of what's being told to us of why he was suspended, I just don't know, man. So, but VK, we got 5 minutes until Coach Beard. What you got to say about it?
Well, Liberty right now, the administration.
Go ahead.
Liberty is definitely just straight up for the what's right now. It's kind of crazy, because it doesn't make no sense at all. It really don't. I mean, what happened to former athletic director Brandon White, and I mean, crazy in itself. But now to Jimmy Zachary. I mean, come on, bro. This is we getting too god doggone soft, man. We getting too god doggone soft. I understand the mental aspect. I totally get it. I coach my kids in a certain way. But when it's time for me to get hard, I get hard. And there are ways you have to do it. But at the same time, you gotta be tough. You can't lay off. Like, what is this? Why a lot of these youngsters and these kids are getting lost because they are freaking, god doggone standing behind people that don't really care or not just that don't have a positive message or anything. They're falling for anything these days. And that's the fault of poor administration. They don't truly care about the bigger picture. And sometimes some parents that are not being real and not being parents. Come on, man. We're living in a cold-blooded society. Wake up. Wake up. Get these kids right. Raise them right. Don't let America dictate how you raise and prepare your kids for life. Don't let it do it, man.
Peppers.
I don't know where to start. I mean, I know we got a couple of minutes, but if that's all that he got suspended for was just being tough on a kid, nah, I'm not buying it. Am I saying there's something more? I don't know. None of us know. But if this is what you're going to sell us, that's like Jack and the Beanstalk selling us a thing of beans. Come on, man. No. I don't know what the administration motive is to suspending him. I don't know if they're trying to blackball him or whatnot.
Allegedly,
you don't know. No, we don't know motivations. Allegedly. But see, that's the thing. They're talking about he berated a kid or a junior varsity kid, and I guess the parent got sore and wanted to put him out there. Is this what happened?
That's what's being said.
Is this what happened? So
that's what's being said.
Daddy got mad, and the administration said,
"Do
mama. Something about my baby." Daddy, coach the baby up to be tougher, man. Stop this soft diaper nonsense. I mean, and I'm not saying to do all kind of look. I don't have kids. BK, you have a daughter, and all that. I'm not saying that. And yeah, geez, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It is a parent issue. If we're raising our kids to be tender vittles and Kleenex and soft, kids are not going to function in society in the right way. You got to raise them tough like we came up. We didn't come up easy. None of us did. None of us had silver spoons. None of us came up easy. We had to hustle and grind for what we got from a young age into now. And we still do it today. So I don't want to hear this stuff about, well, Zachary's a bad coach. Zachary's this. He shouldn't be coaching everybody. Not at all. I don't want to hear all that nonsense. Go away with that. Disappear. See ya. I don't want to talk to you. If you're gonna come at me with foolishness, am I saying coaches are perfect? No. There's times to discipline and be tough, and there's times where there's overkill. In this case, this sounds like a parent who got sore and decided, well, I'm gonna make myself known right here. I'm gonna make myself known right here, and I'm gonna put an example out. This is the way that parents should raise their kids, not to be soft. Nah, man. Jared, I have a big problem with this suspension. And what is it for? What, it was just for that game last week,
Right.
or
Well, it's right now. I also know it's for that one game. I don't know anything else. But like I said, everybody, this is just what was put out there allegedly. So we're going by what we were told. That's all. But hopefully Coach Zachary gets back on that sideline where he belongs to coach. But we're gonna move along and we're gonna go right to our guest right now. And I'm very excited that this guy is able to join us tonight here on the Hash It Out show. He's the head coach of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. He has them at 5-2 right now for the season. We have the one and only Coach Brett Beard. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm great. Sitting here at a JV game in Prairieville and just living the life. And look, before we get started, look, Jimmy Zachary's a good football coach, and I hope they get their things figured out because I think he's a great young football coach that gets after it and is doing a phenomenal job at Liberty.
Yes, sir, definitely. We all are in agreement with you on that, Coach. We all feel the same. And we've had Coach Zachary on the show twice, and he's a great guy, great coach.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Coach, let's get into it. Last year, 5-5, lost in the first round of West Washita. This year, like I said, you guys are 5-2 right now. What's been the difference in this team this season in comparison to last season?
Well, I tell you, I've kind of been stuck in a cycle here at Denham. Like, we'll get a really good group, really good class. I guess a typical non-select school that gets a good class, has a couple classes that kind of struggle. My first year at Denham, we were pretty bad. Played a lot of sophomores, had a rough year, but had a lot of chance to grow and learn. Second year, made it to the second round of the playoffs with those guys, and then the third year, we made it to the quarterfinals and graduated a big senior class, only to turn around and start all over again with this group of seniors who now is we got 42 seniors, and that's kind of why we're being successful. Man, we all know it's Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's. And when you got 42 seniors, dudes that care about Denham Springs football, that play it the way we want to play it, that play our nasty brand of football, you got a chance to be really good when you're a bunch of older kids that know the standard, that fight for the standard. And we keep getting better every week and have a quarterback that, as good as he is, he's only got a handful of starts under his belt, and he's now coming into he's starting to hit a patch where he looks comfortable and special. O-line is getting a lot better. So, there's a lot of things. Defense is flying around. There's a lot of things that's giving us a chance to be 5-2 and continue to get better. And really, you go to work every day. It's a lot of fun with these kids.
You talk about getting better and your O-line, your quarterback, but what do you think right now is the biggest challenge your team needs to overcome to reach its full potential?
But, we got to learn how to win the big games. No doubt we had a huge one with Dutchtown. But if you go back and you look at our two losses, EA and Central, Central, we really felt like we got after them for probably 46 minutes of that game, 45 minutes of that game. But when it came down to making the game-winning play, Central knows how to win, obviously, being the defending state champion. They made the play, and we didn't. Same thing with EA. We have a chance to go to two scores. We have a chance to put them on the ropes, get them out of what they're good at, and make them uncomfortable. And we drop some wide open touchdown passes. That doesn't put you in that position to win those games. Where we just got to learn how to win and finish games, and that's really where we're at as we continue to grow this process and grow through this process. That's the biggest thing is just finishing and making the play when it matters. And that's just that kind of, I guess, that monkey off our back. We got to get off our back.
Regardless of how the season finishes, if it's state championship or not getting to the state championship, what is the most important lesson you hope your players take away from this season?
Well, the biggest thing is our guys, like, you were talking earlier, man, I'm still kind of old school. I think I'm young, I'm 44, but I do have a lot of old school philosophies and the way I go about business, the way I work with these kids. I pride myself on building young men, and young men and men win football games. And, I pride myself when these guys leaving our football program with a chance to move on, whatever it is, and be successful. And, learning to be successful, whether it's through the wins or learning how to win, or even learning from the losses. Our kids are going to work to get better. They're going to grow. And, the biggest thing is our finish. I'm excited. These kids are going to leave behind a legacy, a foundation that we'll continue to build on here at Denham. And they've really embodied it more so than any other group I've had. And, if we can just continue to get these young groups to see how this group is and let it trickle on down, the legacy left behind of what we're trying to do here at Denham, that hasn't been done in a long time with the Butch Wax years and everything else. That's really we're going to be successful. We're already ahead of the curve right now, and we just got to learn how to finish and get this thing late in November.
VK.
Coach Beard, man, good to have you on, man.
And thank y'all for having me on.
Oh,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem, man. How looking at this schedule in your district, how tough this district is, man. It just don't get any easier. And all of a sudden, you're coming off a huge win against Dutchtown, and now you host Prairieville that has just won 2 straight games, and they're
Yeah.
trying to start to come on. What are your thoughts going in that from last week to this week and the district itself?
Well, I'm going to tell you first off, going to Dutchtown, to beat a Guy Mastretta team, to beat a Dutchtown and Ascension school is always a big feat, man. They do some great things. They got some great players and great coaches in this parish. They do it right. So what a big win at Dutchtown. But then you flip around to Prairieville, and when Prairieville got started last year and came in our district, we thought for 2 or 3 years, we'll be able to kind of weather that storm as they get I guess acclimated and used to it. And somebody asked me on our radio show a couple weeks ago, like, what was the biggest surprise from that week? And I was like, man, Prairieville beating Walker was a big surprise. Well, then Prairieville turns around and beats EA, which is a even bigger surprise. But hats off to those coaches and these kids at Prairieville, man. They're playing the right way. They're playing hard. That's a good football team. And I keep telling our kids, like, you don't sleep on this team. They're ready to play, and they're probably a year ahead of what I thought would be their pace of their pace of competition and play.
Tell us 2 key players offensively and defensively that's really key leading the Yellow Jackets.
Leading the Yellow Jackets?
Leading, I mean, seeing stats or whatever. Just 2 players.
Leading, yeah. Okay, I didn't know which. Yeah, offensively, man. We got 2 twins, the Goldman twins. You probably remember a name, Tyree Goldman, back in the day, was a freak running back at Denham. Was a big time player. It's his little brothers. They're twins, Jean and Sean Goldman. One's a quarterback, one's a receiver. Both really special players. You talk about a quarterback, man. We've had some really good quarterbacks at Denham, and this dude has a chance to be the best. Just his psyche, the way he attacks his business every day, the way he practices every day. And really, we had some early struggles, and you forget, like, we knew he was going to be special. We knew how good he was. But of course, man, you got to get some starts under your belt. You got to get comfortable. And now he's got 7 starts, a jamboree, and a scrimmage, and you can see his game is starting to really take off. So keep an eye out for him. His game is getting really special, really a lot of fun to watch, and the kid can beat you with his arm and his legs. Defensively, we got a guy named Darius Scott on our D line. We got 2 DNs, Darius Scott and Devin Mack. We try to talk to our guys and teach them a lot. Like, you watched Central last year, their defense is what won them a state championship. Their defense was unbelievable. Those 2 DNs they had were freaks. And the way those 2 guys just took over football games, and I kind of use them as an example, even though it's one of our big rivals in their own schedule, is like, guys, look what the team across the river just did. Nobody thought they could do it, but they had 2 DNs that would wreck games and freaking take over games. And I'm like, we think we got 2 of those guys. And up until the last couple of weeks, they've just kind of been up and down. But in the last couple of weeks, they have dominated and have shown glimpses of how good we can be defensively to go with our offense. So that's really some guys to be on the lookout for. They're doing a light show here at Prairieville at halftime of this JV game.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna ask you this last question. I'm gonna pass it on to George. I came by Denham Springs for the first time. I've been to a time, but the first time coming to the high school, I actually did some broadcasting for the Region 23 baseball tournament, and
Awesome.
I was amazed to see the facilities from the baseball stadium to the football stadium. A lot of improvements, and the stadium looks great. Building a new field house, all kind of stuff. How it's been? Everything is everything done with the improvements, and not just that. How has the atmosphere been? I know the support is unbelievable at Denham Springs.
Yeah, I think these people were really hungry for some growth. Some programs. I used to tell people all the time when I was at Live Oak, like, Live Oak, Denham didn't come down to like Live Oak and Walker. Talk about these rivalries in parish. I said Denham didn't come down to us. Live Oak and Walker came to Denham and then blew by Denham and made Big Brother kind of take a back seat. And I think our people here have finally been woke up to that and wanted to be back to being Denham Springs, the Livingston Parish big boy. And you get the right people at the right time and the right spots, and the perfect storm can happen. And now, honestly, I'm not being biased. I see all these facilities and played all these beautiful stadiums. I honestly believe we're in the top tier of facilities now, especially once we get the field house complete and this phase complete. It's really going to be a first class place. And you can tell, man, our kids, sometimes we talk to our kids about don't get spoiled. I mean, you're the ones that you earned this, you built this, but you got to appreciate that and you got to stay the course, because I really do think our kids have a greater pride now because of this house they get to come work in and this program they get to be a part of. And really, all our athletics are growing and being successful because of, we have a sense of pride now that's even greater than it's been because of what we now have.
It's amazing stuff. All your athletics has been good. Baseball has been consistent. Basketball back on the map, man. I mean, what
Finally.
they did in the quarters last year was something else. But man, I know there's going to be great success going forward.
And look, those twins I talked about on the football team, they were X factors on the basketball court too. So you'll see them there as well.
Yep.
Can't wait to see that. George Peppers.
Coach Beard, first off, again, as my co-host said, thank you for making the time for joining us. And I guess we got to say, you're a heck of a football coach. I admired your work from when you've other stops. Let's talk about your team. Through 7 weeks, if there's one word to describe your team, coach, teams have an identity. But if there's one word you could use to describe your team, what would that word be and why?
I want to use like a easy coaching cliche, the gritty.
Okay.
I want to use some of that, but I'm not, man.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, this group is together. Like if I had to describe a group, man, together and mature. Again, when you have 42 seniors and guys that have been at the very bottom and they've seen the climb about halfway, they've seen how good we could be. They got to witness it as eighth graders, the quarterfinal run that we had that hadn't happened very often at Denham Springs. This group is very mature and very together. And because of it, man, our practices are a lot more energetic. They're a lot more fun. They take a pride in coming out to practice and really getting better and pushing each other. And, we talk about iron sharpens iron. If you want to be the best offense in the state, go against the best defense in the state. And I tell you, man, like if I had to say one word for this team, for this group, it's together.
I like that. How much, what Central did last year, stepping up and getting the job done, and in the manner that they did, how much of that did you use to emulate your team this year? Because you've got a veteran team, 40 plus seniors, as you mentioned. What they did last year, I don't think anybody saw that they would beat Ruston by, what was it, 40, I think?
42
They beat them in
nothing.
42 nothing. What do you take from what they did, because they're a district team, Central? What do you take from what they did and applied it to your team this year?
I'm going to tell you the biggest thing, and we've applied, is a belief system. Because you can come into a year, everybody's got the same goal. Man, we want to go stand on that mountain. We want to go stand below that Caesar Dome logo, and everybody has that. But at the end of the day, there's not many teams that really get that opportunity. There's 16, and then of course, or there's what is there? There's 16 teams that get to stand under that logo, and there's only 8 that win it. But the biggest thing that we've taken away from it is, man, the guys across the river, like literally a stone's throw across the river that nobody thought could win a state championship, went and defied all odds and won that. So if you don't believe in the fact that somebody can do this, it can be done. And that's been our biggest thing is, man, it can be done. This is real. Look what just happened last year across the river. And we use those guys. Like I got a lot of respect for Semino and Camp and Central and the job they do. Don't get me wrong, man. That was a perfect storm last year. But the biggest thing is there's a belief system. I mean, like anybody can win this thing. You just got to get hot at the right time. You got to have a little luck. You got to stay healthy. But if you're constantly trying to figure out a way to go 1-0 and you're getting it done and you're learning every time, good or bad, what goes on from that week to week, and you're growing and you get hot at the right time, anybody can win it.
What's it going to take? Final question. What's it going to take for you guys to be amongst those 16 teams in New Orleans to get to the Dome? What's it going to take?
It's kind of like I said earlier. We got to grow from what we just did against an elite program in Dutchtown. We got to get comfortable in those kind of games, and we got to get comfortable finishing those games and winning those games. Again, we had a shot against Central earlier in the year. They made the play and we didn't. That was kind of a big roadblock. And the Livingston Parish rivalries are really big time games. Live Oak had kind of had our number the last couple of years. this group of seniors had never beat Live Oak going back to the junior high days. So for them to go in and do what we did versus Live Oak, that was a big, believe it or not, a big wall that was in front of us that we knocked down. And then you go and instead of riding that high, you go against Dutchtown, one of the elite programs, a Guy Mastretta team. And really, we played dang near a flawless game and got after them pretty good. If we can continue to grow from that and stay, not necessarily even kill, but, ride the highs, ride the lows, but don't let it get too low and don't let it get too high, but constantly just climb a little bit, get a little bit better every day. And you start kind of chopping some of these wins, and you get these wins against a Dutchtown, against a Santa Maul. Then you beat a really good team in the first round, and you kind of get that confidence and realize, all right, it can be done here. That's what it's going to take for this group to really get that belief system rolling.
Most definitely, Coach Brett Beard. Thank you so much for joining us. I truly
Yep.
appreciate it, and hopefully we have you on in the future. And good
Yep.
luck to your team moving forward.
Man, again, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's a great show. I did some research after I figured out what I was getting on, and let me tell you, I listened to a few minutes right there, a couple minutes before I got on. Man, awesome job. I'm a
Thank you.
fan now. Thank you for your
Thank
time
you.
and thank you for all you do for high school football.
Definitely, Coach. Thank you, sir. Truly appreciate it.
Great. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Coach Brett Beard of Denham Springs, and when I saw there we go. When I saw Coach Beard, like I said, I saw Coach Beard on Denham Springs TV YouTube channel, man, and the way he coaches and everything, I was truly became a fan like that. And I love the way he coaches, and and you see everything coming together with Denham Springs. We saw a couple years ago the quarterfinal run, and like he said, a couple hiccups here and there, but now this team here is looking good. Almost got past let me think, Central, and then East Ascension. And like he said, when they figure out how to win, this could be one of the most dangerous teams in Division One non-select, VK.
Yes, they could. They very much could. The district is really preparing them for the playoffs, and at the same time, they're becoming battle tested. And I think a lot of people, not just across across Baton Rouge, but across the state as well, and even New Orleans, they got a lot of respect for Brett Beard, and especially his coaching style and everything. He's tough nosed. He wants the best, not just for his team, but for the kids. So he's a really good coach. Does a really good job with this program. If they can win out and be right there in the race, man, I tell you, it's gonna be interesting to see where Denham Springs ends up in the brackets. They might ruin some seasons. We'll see, but they are a team that could make a good run.
Let me say this right quick before I go to you, George Peppers. Denham Springs right now are 10th in non-select, and they got Prairieville. They host Prairieville. They go to Walker, and then they host Saint Amant. So two of these last three games will be some tough ones with Prairieville, the way they're coming up, and Saint Amant. And if they can run the tables, win these last three games, Denham Springs will definitely move up in that top 10. Peppers.
I don't think there's. Why can't it be them this year in non-select D1? Why can't they be this year's Central? They fit the mold. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of talent. As Coach Beard alluded, once they figure out how to consistently knock off the big time opponents, Dutchtown maybe was a turning point game for them. And say what you want about Dutchtown, maybe this isn't one of their better teams, but still an elite program, and they found a way to get that dub. Why can't Denham Springs this year's Central? To me, especially like you mentioned, JB, if they went out against that schedule in Prairieville, used to be marked as an EW. Easy, not anymore. Those cats have knocked off some people. But you better get the hard hat and the lunchbox and get ready to go to work and go get that one. But if they went out, they'll be 8-2, safely in the top 10. The top four seeds in non-select get a bye, right?
And no, yes, correct. The top four
Four
at the
seed.
buys.
I don't
Yes.
know if they get there. They could get to a 5 through 8 area and slip into that and catch definitely a winnable first round game, and then more than likely a tougher second round. But why can't Denham Springs be this year's Central? That's the thing you look at when you look at the bracket as a whole. In non-select Division One, is there a standout team that you could say, yeah, like in Select Division One, it's Carr, and then everybody else. Carr is the decided favorite. there are capable teams. But in non-select Division One, can you name one team and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw my chips on that one team, and that's a wrap"? No, you can't. There's a handful of teams, and Denham Springs might make that list when we get to the playoffs in 3 weeks' time.
Okay. My bad, Cheese. I did mean to ask him about number 44. I did. I apologize. I did because when you put in there, I did say okay. I'm gonna ask him because I saw the video of Big 44 against who they just played Dusttown.
Mhm.
Man, that's a big kid there. Hard to
Hard,
take
son.
down. Hard to take down. Yeah. The job he has done at Denham Springs since leaving Live Oak, and that's the rival school, Live Oak, Denham Springs. He has done a phenomenal job. And to these kids believing in him, loving to play for him. And like he said, VK, nobody believed in Central but Central. And Central went out there and did it. And he said that's all we have to do is just to believe in ourselves, play our game, believe in ourselves, and great things can happen. And you get to the state championship that way and believe in yourselves, you can win it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at it this year, and I have to look at the power rankings myself in Division One, and I think George makes a great point. You can't really tell which team is a standout right now, and I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be about maybe who has a toughest schedule or who comes in hot, who comes in, you know what I'm saying, who comes in on a winning streak, who comes in with the big game wins, who it's gonna be a lot because we're gonna see how that bracket looks coming up in a couple weeks, in about 3 weeks time. And when we see it, you might it might not be top four win state. It might be the top eight. It might be the top 10. Somebody is going to win it. And I think it's going to be one of probably many divisions that is going to be wide open this year.
I I do want to add one more thing. Coach Beard said in an interview, "Together" was the word he wanted to use to define this team.
Yeah.
Central last year at Neville. How many of us thought Central could go into Neville and win that game last year? We thought they could compete. We thought they'd give a good account of themselves. But how many of us really thought that through 48 minutes they could win that game?
I don't
You know
think
what
I
I'm
don't think
saying?
we I don't think any one of us, the three of us, picked Central. I
No.
think we all picked Neville.
Yeah, we did. We broom swept that game.
No, I think
No,
I picked Central.
I
I
still
picked
have last
I
year's picks. I'll look
I,
them up.
Yeah, look him up,
look,
man.
look
Go
'em up.
ahead, look
I
him up.
will.
I think I
BK
picked
trying to
Central.
plagiarize here. I'm
No, ain't
playing.
trying to play it. You play it. But I think I might have been the one that picked them because I think I was a lone wolf. And the biggest thing I said Neville was really good, but I don't think they're ready yet because the biggest thing is,
Maturation. Yeah, I remember you
yeah,
saying that.
the biggest thing is chinks in the armor prove that
Mhm.
you're here. And when they lost, and you had to think Neville has lost at home recent
Quite a few
times
times.
the
Yep,
playoffs. So it's not really the intimidating place. I thought this year will be a huge year for Neville, but the injury bug
it
has been
has.
killing Neville this year.
But backtracking to Denham Springs, I keep saying, why can't they be the team? And with Coach Beard, that's probably what he's stressing. Hey, if Central could do it, why not us? Sim district rival.
Well,
They
Central not in their district, but they are
That I mean, they're in
rivals.
the same
All
area,
right.
same
Yeah,
area. That's
there
what
you
I meant to
go.
say. Same area, same region. But why can't we do it? Then if we want to be Big Brother again, why not us? And the kids are like, yeah, 40 something seniors. What better way to go out than be in the carpet of the dome on the second weekend of December playing for a state championship if you're Denham Springs? And they're more than capable because, as we've said, who can you safely name in non D1 that you like? I'm gonna throw my chips on that team.
All right,
Ain't that?
right now in 91, to who you could throw your chips on as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean,
That's right.
I
That's
think
right.
majority would probably throw it on Rustin, but yeah, I mean, it's a good point because if I'm sitting like and she says it's wide open, we might have a wide open non-select Division One this year because I could say Rustin too, but I'm not about to just throw all my chips on Rustin right now. So
Not
yeah,
at all.
I think it's kind of open, y'all. Go ahead, George.
No, I was just gonna, just emulating what you're saying. Look, when we get the brackets in 3 weeks' time, uh, I'm very curious to see where Denham's going to place. If they win out, I think they're easily top 8. I don't think they're going to get high enough to go to the 1 through 4 area unless some chaos happens in the last 3 weeks. Where teams, some slippages and all that stuff. That's the only way. But if they go 5, 6, 7, 8, they're going to draw probably in the words of Cheese, boardwalk. What do you say? Boardwalk game. A game that they could probably win. But Denham's going to be one of those teams that I don't think you want to play. Veteran team, a truckload of seniors. If you're the team that's got to play Denham, I don't know if you want that matchup.
Well, I mean, you got to play the game. I never looked at brackets for the world titles I won. I never looked at brackets at all. I'm like, I gotta fight these people. You gotta fight them. You just gotta fight them. Here's what it is.
Yep.
Cheese says West Monroe could get his chips right now, but there isn't a clear favorite
at all.
Shelby Boyle is wide open. That's a fact, and I like the fact that it's wide open. I really do. I think the last 3 years. I think we can sit here and say, well, for me, the last 2 years, I can sit here and say, Ruston. The last 2 years, not including this year. We can say Ruston. Ruston was automatic the past 3 years. But this year, we can sit here and say, like, we don't have a clear, definite person we can pick to go to the Dome right now. Yeah, man, I love it. Man, his Austin Tyler, it could be Terrebonne. It sure could be Terrebonne. It surely could. The Detroit Northeast, he says, no, not Terrebonne, not happening. Okay. Oh, man. Wow. She says, boat race, George.
Boat race. That's what I was talking for.
Oh, man. So
when was the power rankings last updated? I'm trying to.
Today.
It'll tell you
today.
It'll tell you, BK. There's a little inscription where they have the date of the power rankings and timestamp.
Well, it depends on which one he's going to. Is he going to Louisiana Sports Line with the one that Cheese does or LHSAA?
Yeah, I'm going where Cheese is.
Okay,
and I see it. And the way it's looking. To be honest with you, I can be real with you. Anybody from maybe 1 through 15 could win the state championship. The way these
that's how wide open it is, BK.
It's really it really is. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it was maybe 1 to 10, but it could be 1 through 15 because this is unbelievable because Central is a 15 seed right now, and you got East Ascension at 14. Prairieville is in the playoffs right now. They're 18.
Mm-hmm.
So if they pull off this upset against Denham Springs, that'll be a huge boost for them. So this is amazing, and I think, like I said, this is going to
Parkway.
be more than one in Parkway. We can't leave out Parkway. You can't leave out Washita, Northwood Shreve. Let's see how real they are.
Let me stop you right quick because I got a question from Instagram. Uptown Bound. What y'all think about Riverdale? All right. Let's talk about Riverdale right quick. We got a question about Riverdale. All right. So Riverdale, they're in non-select 1. And right now they are number 12. Number 12. Strength factor is still the lowest out of all 36 teams. And Riverdale has to win out to host a first round game. I think Bonneville will give Riverdale a run for their money. I really do. Not saying that Bonneville wins, but I think Bonneville gives Riverdale a run for their money. And Riverdale, if they beat Bonneville, they're going to host a first round game. I just don't know who it'll be at that time. Because I think there are a couple, and when I say couple, I mean like 2 or 3 teams that Riverdale can probably defeat. And everybody else, I just don't think they have enough to defeat those teams. That's just my honest opinion. Riverdale is very, very talented. Very talented, good ball club. Still winning the district championship, was the favorites to win it this year for District 10-5A. But when it comes to playoff, I just don't know if they can really beat a lot of these teams that that'll make it. But I got a couple, like 2 or 3 that they probably can beat if they happen to match up with them in the first round.
Who would they draw in 21? You say they're 12th. Who was the 21 seed? Because that's who they would play.
All right, so as of right now, it would be Riverdale against Lafayette, and I think Lafayette can give them a challenge. I really do.
Yes.
I think they could, you know what I'm saying, looking at it. But I think they'll give them a challenge. But I think, you know what I'm saying, I think with the playoff experience with Riverdale, I think Riverdale will win that game, to be honest. Because you look at it, Lafayette had a great start, but when it came down to the big teams, they froze up. This is not a consistent team in itself. They're just starting to come back out. So Lafayette, they could give Riverdale a challenge, but I'm going with the experience. I would go with the experience with Riverdale in that game because the fact they have been there.
Cheese, this is their best team. This is probably their best team ever, Cheese.
Yes.
To be honest with you. Yeah, they lost to Newman, and I think that's the game their quarterback got hurt. I think that's the game the quarterback got hurt. So, yeah, they lost to Newman, but this is still Riverdale's best team ever. Yes, it is. You could say Dante Jackson, who's in the NFL, who played cornerback at LSU and went to Riverdale, is their best player of all time, but that team wasn't as talented as this team is right now with Byron Perrier, Seor. I can never get Seor's last name. David Diaz. What?
Torrent Signal.
I was getting there.
Oh, you about to get there? I'll just add on, dude.
Yeah. Interrupted, right, George? Yeah, Seor. I cannot think of Seor's last name. Torrent Signal. Great wide receiver. This is the most talented Riverdale team ever. And we saw them firsthand last year, Cheese. And yes, this is their best team ever. It's just the fact they haven't really played tougher competition, I should say. And that's not a knock on them. It's not a knock on them. They play whoever's in front of them. And I just looking at the rankings, man. And like I said, I think there's a couple teams they can get by in that first round, but if they match up with any other teams, I just think it might be tough sledding for them. And if they lose to Bonneville, they're definitely not going to host the first round game because that strength factor is too low.
And I got another a potential district, and can you believe this? For the second year in a row, the Jefferson Parish District is going to come down to the East Bank for the district championship. Can you believe that?
Yeah, strange, huh? Where's Hornville and Destrehan in power rankings? All right. So Shelby, they're right next to each other. How you like that, man? Destrehan is 11. Hornville is number 12. So that week 9 game gonna say a lot. And even the Hornville game with Lakeshore, week 10, is gonna say a lot also. Hornville get those 2 wins. Look for Hornville to move up. So, but there you go, Shelby Ball. Those are the rankings for Hornville and Destrehan. All right. I think that is it for the Hash It Out show, ladies and gentlemen. We thank each and every one of y'all for joining us tonight. I know I got a lot of commercials to play. I got to play them, though. I got a lot to play, and I got to play them. Thursday night, the Hash It Out show, Thursday night game of the week. We are at Joe Yenny Stadium. It is East Jeff taking on John Ehret. And then Friday night, we are at Joe Brown Park. New Orleans East, here we come. It is McDonough 35 versus Carver. No love lost between the two, ladies and gentlemen. Potential district championship matchup. Douglas is still waiting in the wings as well. You cannot forget about Douglas. They still got to play both of them, week 9 and week 10. This may come down to the final week. We will see. We're back tomorrow night. We'll get into the power rankings. And then we'll have our picks. But at 7:20 and 7:25, the head coach of the Prairieville Hurricanes, Coach Michael Schmidt, will join us tomorrow to talk about his team and how well they're playing all of a sudden, all that good stuff. Because to see Prairieville at 4-3 right now, and like Coach Brett Beard said, they're ahead of schedule, it says a lot about where this program is headed. Last words, Peppers.
Great show tonight, gentlemen. Part 1 of 2 for this week. We got one tomorrow night, as you mentioned, and we got the Hash It Out Show games of the week this week. Interesting battles both. Aaron East Jeff not, at the beginning of the year when we chose that game, we thought they would be more, but both teams are struggling. It'll be a character game right there. Then Friday night, 35 and Card, get to see our buddy DJ One. He'll probably come pay us a visit at Joe Brown Friday before the game. So looking forward to that. But these are interesting battles that we have coming up this week. Looking forward to that. And JB, now I got to confer with you about time departures now because of last week. So now I got to confirm with you.
What's up, Mr. Davis? I see you. What's up? What's up, Miguel? What's up? I see you. Miguel Whitley from St. Augustine.
St. Augustine.
Caven Davis, the principal of John Eric. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, George. Go ahead, finish. What you got? What you got?
No. I was just saying, that looking forward. But JB, I got to confer with you now about time departures now.
Yeah.
Because last week, I got to get with you.
Yeah.
I'm just picking, just goofing around. I'm not being serious. But I got to get with you. But you know what? Hey, it's all to the good. I'll be with you guys both nights this week. Going to be fun stuff. Looking forward to that. And my guys at work, my coworkers are like, "Hey man, we've been listening to y'all games. Y'all do a hell of a job. Keep up the good work." And they're asking me where we're going this week. And I told them, and I don't want to say what they said on the air. I'll say that off the air. But they are big fans of what we do. So yeah, I'm networking at work with not the wrong sides, the right sides. So all my guys and my coworkers, they know about us, and they love the brand, and they support us, and they continue to wish for our success. Just wanted to let y'all pass that on to y'all.
All right, VK Jones.
Well, speaking of the Hash It Out show, join us tomorrow morning, 11:30. We usually have our coaches interviews on Tuesday, but we're gonna have a special one on Wednesday with the coach of Jewel Sumner. That'll be Ross Carrere. Ross Carrere will be joining us 11:30 tomorrow morning. All social media platforms. Join me. I will interview Coach Carrere talking about Joel Sumner and his team and how they're doing this season and everything. So tune in for that. And also, big shout outs going. Two big shout outs right quick. One to Shaz Preston, man. What a play he made last Saturday, getting the game winner up for Tulane. And I mean, he's been really working hard getting out there for him to make that big play. Shout out to him and the Preston family. And a big time congratulations going to Toronto Blue Jays. Congratulations for the first time in 32 years back in the World Series. And the first team, we talked about the Boston Red Sox come back from 3-0. They are the first team that has ever had to come back from losing the first 2 games of the American League Championship Series and to come back and win the series. That has never happened. And they've done it. So congratulations to Toronto and wish you the best. Finish the job.
Yeah, Troy Narcisse. I sell shirts. Hit me up on what you call it? My messenger. Hit me up. Make it happen. I sell shirts. I can make it happen. We tried to sell shirts last year. A lot of people asked for the shirts. Like, oh, I buy one. So I got some shirts made. The ones that asked last year didn't buy a shirt. ain't no free shirts. I'm telling you that right now. All right. But yes, I do sell shirts. You just don't need one in shaw green. I hear you, bro. I hear you, bro.
Oh, wow.
I know he want one in that black and yellow. I know, man. We'll see what I can do. We'll see what we can do, man. But look, everybody, we back tomorrow, 7:00. Tune in. We appreciate y'all. I'm about to run all these commercials because I gotta run them. It's our sponsors. We can't do this without our sponsors. So I want to thank them so much. For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I'm JB the Sports Guy. See you back here tomorrow.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664, and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. Bucks No Wiz was the place to go as a kid growing up to get snowballs. As an adult now, it is still the place to go. When you want some of the best snowballs and some of the best customer service, Bucks No Wiz is the place. Now, excuse me, let me get back to my half grape, half pink lemonade snowball. Bucks No Wiz, located at 1508 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero, Louisiana. Hey, parents and coaches, want your young athlete to go far on and off the field? Kumon of Gretna is the place for you. Whether it's reading plays or calculating scores, early literacy and math skills teach focus, discipline, and decision making. Give your student athlete the edge. Start early, start smart at Kumon of Gretna.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
If you ever need help with 401k services, fiduciary services, or executive benefits, then Jeremy Callaghan of CoSource Financial Group is the guy to see. You can reach him at 337-606-9860. Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.